I am going to record two videos today because I have been sick of myself. I'm tired with myself and hearing everything that I want to do and having a lot of clarity in regards to what I want to do and how I want to do it and where I want to be later on in life and how I want to be in the present moment. And I feel like I've grown tired of just planning and going inwards to understand myself, which I feel it's an essential part of life. But same as we go inward, we have to balance that out with going outward, with going to the exterior. And I feel like I have been wanting to do a lot of changes with my life. In my life, or like one of the spheres that is a part of my life is my work, this beautiful project that I call Toma lo que necesitas, or take what you need in English. And I feel like I have been wanting to do a lot of changes. I feel like I have outgrown the space that I used to occupy. And when I realize I outgrow a certain space, um, it takes me a while to replant into a bigger pot. I feel like I am a plant and I feel like I get replanted into bigger and bigger spaces as time and experiences go by. So that's why I'm using that analogy, because I feel like I outgrow the planter that I am in, and it's either stay there and let it be broken, and then I will start spilling and falling apart because that is no longer the place where I need to be in, or I can just be very aware of the fact that I no longer fit in the same space that I used to, that I once called home, and then I can make the arrangements to move to a larger and better place. So, lately, for the past months, a lot of months, for the past months, I have been feeling that I no longer want to do a lot of the things that I have been doing, or that I don't want to do them in the way that I was doing them. One of them was in regards to this project that if you follow me on Spotify too and you have heard my podcast, there's one episode in English. And there's only one because most of them I do in Spanish. But when I did that one, when I made that one, I promised myself I wanted to follow up with recording English and Spanish content because I wanted to be able to reach as much people as possible. And after I uploaded the first English episode, a lot of self doubt and inner bad judgment started flowing. Um, and it was after that that I decided to take a pause because I definitely wanted to make a lot of changes and I didn't know exactly like where to begin. So so this is where I'm starting. I decided to start this channel, this YouTube channel, because I wanted to be able to have you know the face that is behind the voice that is speaking to you. And since this is my first day in this new job that I just gave myself because I am my own boss and my own company basically, um, yeah, I wanted to do this. I wanted to let fear not stop me but drive me instead. And see, what happens is I realized that I wanted to do a change with my life. I just got interrupted, and since I do not know anything about editing, I don't know if you saw that or if I was able to pause this, but I think I was saying that I wanted to make a lot of changes with my life. Please excuse me, okay? I'm learning. I'm learning as I go. And okay, I'm gonna pick up where I think I left off, which is changes. And I want to go back to this. I realized I have outgrown the space that I was in. And I want to start there because whenever we start, whenever we're living life, there come these thresholds that we must cross in order to keep evolving and becoming better and having different and better nourishing experiences. And it was 2 years ago because I remember it was in between August and the beginnings of September that I decided to resign from a corporate job that I had been in for 4 years and finally start doing the things that I loved. I wanted to start actually giving therapy because I did my, I don't know in English like the categories of school, but I did my licenciatura, which is like my bachelor's degree, I think. And then I did my master's, but I was still working on corporate and it was just not aligning with me anymore. And I heard this inner calling like, you have just outgrown this space and it's time for yourself to take the leap, to take a step forward and take yourself out of here because you are no longer growing in here. Actually, you're beginning to die. Like I could see myself as this plant again that had outgrown its space and had broken the vase that it was in, and the water started like going out, and then I was left dry, and it was either die or find new ways to live. So 2 years ago I decided to resign from that corporate job and I started with my own consultation office, and I started seeing patients, and I started seeing, I don't like the term patient. I mean, I kind of do, but no. So yeah, I started seeing clients like one on one, and I started seeing couples because I'm also like a couples therapist. And I just, I was just living my best life. I loved every single thing I did. And there came a time where I was like, I love what I do, but I feel like I want to do more. And that's when I started doing like patients online and seeking for people like in other places of the world that would speak English. And I started giving my services in English as well as in Spanish. And I started opening up more about, I started giving myself the space to be the artist that I also know I am. So last year I published my first poetry book in June. So there was that. I was like, I don't just want to be in the box of therapist because that's not all that I am. And the fact that I work as that doesn't mean that that's the only thing that that is me. So I also stepped up last year, not only as a therapist, but as a poet also. And I came out as that. And I published my book, and it was amazing. And it was like dreams were coming true all over. Um, and months began to pass by. And right now, or for the past couple of months, I've been feeling like I am at a crossroads where I love what I do, but I feel like I am made for so much more. Like, I wanted to do the podcast, I wanted to start this channel, I wanted to start doing like online workshops and just open up the space of what I have been doing so that it can hold more people in. And I have been feeling this for, I kid you not, almost a year. It's been almost a year since I heard this inner calling of it's time to grow, it's time to move again. You know, the planter that you were in is amazing and it has been a beautiful space for us, but it's time to just move, right? And I feel like I have been postponing doing this because I was very afraid of the outcome. I know this is not going to give me like instant money, so I was like, what am I going to be earning from this? Like, shouldn't I be focusing more on my job and the things that actually like make money? But it's also been a very constant thing for about a year now that I don't just want to make things for or do things for money. Like, I know money is very important and I love it and I've come to make peace with it, but I want to do things also because they fulfill my spirit and they make my soul feel very happy. So I have been dedicating the past couple of months to just be very open and vulnerable with myself about like what I want to do with life and where I want to go. So I started by listening to all of these dreams and aspirations that I have, and I started tracing a plan to make them become a reality. And I realized that it was no longer a matter of going inward or going inside, but rather just like starting to do the things on the outside. It was not about like planning how to record a video and upload it. It was more about recording the actual video and uploading it and see what moves and then see and part from there. You know, I feel like I was very stagnant for a while, and the only way to move from a stagnancy space to a movement space is actually to move. Like, that's the only thing you have to do. So this video today is the first step. It's the first movement that I'm making towards that new life that I have been picturing for myself. And I want to let you know that it is very natural to feel and acknowledge the fact that you have outgrown even the things that you created for yourself. Like, for example, it was very challenging for me to realize that I wanted to do more or other things, because I like this inner voice in me just said like, but you're already doing the things that you wanted to do. Like, you're resigned to do this. You're resigned to have an office space that you could give therapy in and have your patients. Like, where are you going? This was supposed to be the dream. You're already living your dream. Like, why do you want something else? And this inner voice, who was just like a very scared little voice inside of me, it was my fear speaking. It was like, we've already gotten so comfortable in here that I'm not sure I want to move elsewhere, because it took us a while to be comfortable in here. Because at first it wasn't easy, you know, like I had 2 or 3 patients per month and I had the same amount of responsibilities that I used to have when I was on a fixated income with the company that I was working for. It wasn't easy at all at first. So it took me like about a year to actually be where I wanted to be, like work-wise. So now that I am my own boss and want to give myself like a new challenge or like a new job position, I'm like, but like why? Why, if I am doing this job so well, why do I want to start doing online workshops? Why do I want to grow if I'm already so comfortable where I am right now? And I felt it. I felt that I was feeling a lot of fear. And I went inside. I gave myself the time that I needed to trace a plan, to do everything in a way that would make me feel more safe and secure about moving towards the next step. Because fear, which is insecurity, needs its opposite, which is safety and security, to be free, you know, to transmute. Fear turns into safety. So since I was feeling a lot of fear, I went inside and I asked myself, like, what are all of these fears in regards to, like, is it money wise? Is it like time wise? My schedule, is it going to change? Am I not going to have time to do the things that I wanted to do before, because I'm going to be doing some other things that are going to take me more time to learn and understand? So I was fearful of losing everything that I had built that far. But I realized I do not want to abide by fear. I do not want to be my own fear's slave, because then I could just stay in the same planter for the rest of my life. Even if it's broken, even if it's leaking, even if it's making me feel uncomfortable, my fear will trick me into thinking that it is comfortable enough for me to stay there forever. But the other part of me, my drive, like my spirit and my soul's voice that's calling me for evolution, which is what we all are here meant to do. Like every single living being in this planet aims towards evolution and growth and development. So that was like my soul's calling, and it was like, I love everything we have done this far. Like, I am so thankful that you have given me the space to develop, you have given me the time and the attention necessary to turn what was once a dream into a reality. But baby, it is time to do more. Like, I know we can do more. I know we want to do more. So it is time to do it. And it was very challenging to acknowledge that I wanted more, because I've been taught to not want more, to want to settle. My ex used to tell me so much, like he used to tell me like, you want so many things, like you want so much. And I didn't realize it back then when I was with him, that it just made me feel very small. Like, I believed what he said. I felt like I was wrong for wanting more, for wanting to grow, for desiring so many things in life. I thought I was wrong for just wanting to be me, a natural human, right? And we broke up a year ago, and it's been a full year now that I have been working on myself. That amongst all of the teachings that I have learned from that past relationship now is that it's okay to want more. It's very natural, actually. It's very sane that I want more from life, from myself, from my work, from my own dreams. So this is me telling myself, go ahead. Go ahead and dream big, and then dream bigger. Like, who the fuck taught you that you had to make your dreams be small and, like, manageable for people? Like, they just have to make sense to you, and you cannot let other people's judgments and fears interfere with your own beliefs, because then you are not going to live your life. You're going to be living someone else's, and someone else's fears, so yeah. It's been a year of grieving and moving super slowly with everything in life. Like, that breakup cost me so many months of my life, of trying to figure out like what I did wrong, what I could do better. It just took so much of me. Like, I can't believe it's only been a year. It's just a year. It's not that much, and it goes by so fast. And during this year, I realized that breakup resonated into other areas of my life, such as work. And I realized that I wanted to break up with that part of myself too. Like, this year I stopped giving one-on-one in-person therapy sessions. I moved everything online, and of course that caused me to lose a lot of things. So that created disruption. And even though I knew every time you make a change happens, right? Like, even the unexpected changes. Like, if you're changing something will happen that it's not under your control, that you cannot foresee. And I knew, like, I was ready for the challenges that life would be presenting, but I didn't realize that it would cost so much. Now things have been better, because again, whenever you make a change, it's like being a baby all over again, right? It's like having a new life. If you're stepping into a new life, you have to learn to crawl, and then you have to learn to walk. I mean, you have to learn to stand, and then you have to learn to walk, and then you can run, and then you can fly, and then you can change again. And I feel like this past year, in regards to this project in my work, I have been learning to stand. I have been learning to stand all over again because I created a restructure in my content and in the services that I provide. And now that I can stand, and now that I feel firm, like I feel, yeah, like I feel very firm in my decision and where I'm at. Now that I can stand, I can create a plan to start moving slowly and taking like one step at a time. Today's step is this video that I am recording. And I feel like I just have to create momentum, like I have to go like one by one until I feel the confidence to, as I said, just like start running and understanding where I'm at. So, what I wish to share with you through this is that change is definitely going to be challenging and uncomfortable. Change might even break you in ways that you do not know you can be broken, but it is so, so worth it because only the things that are broken can be restructured. Like, imagine a piece of, I don't know, of glass, like a rectangle of glass. Only by breaking it can you create a kaleidoscope. You need to be broken sometimes and not let yourself just be broken, but instead gather the pieces and turn them into something new, something better. That's what outgrowing is. And I know it doesn't feel pleasant at all. And it's very ironic how it feels kind of pleasant too, that it's like, I think I want to leave this relationship that I'm in because I know that I am made for something so much better, but at the same time I feel so much fear, and it is as uncomfortable as it is, like comfortable in its calling. And I just want to tell you, if you are already feeling that call for change in whichever area of your life it might be, is because you are ready to take the next step. And you are ready to take it slowly and be as compassionate with yourself as you can, because you will be literally going into a new life. And the only way that we can go into a new life is through death. The only way we can have a rebirth is by having death be before that. And I think that's the part most of us are very scared of. That was the part that I was scared of now that I realized I wanted to expand within my work thingies and projects. I needed to let things die. And I needed to die with them. I needed to let that self that once existed die too, so that the other self could be reborn. Like, for example, when I quit my job, or like before I quit my job, the corporate job, I started doing tattoos. It was my childhood dream to do hand poke tattoos. So I started doing hand poke tattoos, and I was doing awesome. Like, I was doing so well. And that gave me the security to finally quit because I had something else already. Like, I needed some ground that I could step on right before I took the leap. So tattoos were that for me, and I was doing so well with them. And then I started giving therapy as well as doing tattoos. And then it came a time where it was just too much, and I had to let go of one of those things. And I loved doing the tattoos that I did, and I loved having the interactions that I had with people through that space, but I knew that I no longer wanted to do it. And it was very uncomfortable back then because I had to let my tattoo self, like that character, die so that the full on time sexologist therapist could occupy her space. And I remember I cried and I thought I didn't want to do it, but I also felt like I needed to do it. So I let go and I stepped up into the new era that was just being a therapist. And then it was being a therapist and being an artist with her poetry. And if if I can be honest with you, which is like what I'm aiming for in this channel, I I love writing so much that I hope the day will come where I can have that character fully in her own, like, flourishing, And I know I not only need to play one character, I can play so many. But sometimes some characters need to take a rest or die completely so that others can move. So right now it's very strange because if you work for yourself, you are the only person that can hold you accountable. You are the only person that can pull you towards growth because you are your own boss. Like I always joke around about this, but I am my own boss and I am my own employee and I am human resources and I am the accountant and I am everybody in this self company. And the thing is, my boss self wants growth. She's the one that realizes, girl, we have outgrown this space. We need to move into a new area where we can do more things, you know? And the employee self, that is me too, sometimes it's like, oh my God, but I was just getting used to this. Like, why are you taking this from me? And then my human resources self, it's like, wait a minute, but are you safe enough? Are you okay? Like, what do you need so that you can do this movement, as smoothly and as safe as possible? And if you work for yourself, what I want to say is it might be very challenging coming to a point in where you want to redo things. Like to me, this couple of months, I was faced with I never thought I would have to resign from my own self to also keep on working with myself, if that makes sense. Like I felt like I had to resign from the job that I was in, that I gave my own self, that I love, so that I can do this new job that I want to do, which is like writing more and creating more content and doing the workshops online and doing therapy and doing a lot of other things. Like I have a lot of projects in mind that can only happen if I let go of the other things that could keep me time wise and energy wise from doing the others. So this is me taking that first step after a long, heartfelt death, because I want more from life, and it is very okay to just want more for yourself. And if you feel like you have outgrown a place, please take your time to get the new, how do you say that? Soil? Yeah. Like, to follow the example of the planter, it's like once you notice you have outgrown a space and you want to move, take time to gather the things that you will need to make that move as smooth and as safe as possible. Meaning, like, you will need new soil, you will need a new source of water, you will need to get the new planter or the new garden that you will be planted in. So take your time to feel the grief of parting with this part of life that will no longer be your life, because you will be stepping into a new one. Take your time to feel all the feelings that arise. Take your time to create a plan, to give it order, to structure it so that you can move forward later on. Take your time, but don't let that time isolate you from the move or the movement itself. Take your time, but take the leap too. take as much time as you need without it being too much, if that makes sense. Because I was like, I'm going to give myself time and I'm going to be so kind to myself and I'm just going to plan it and visualize it and this and that. Then I was just like, it's been months. I need to do something. I need to move. We already have everything. Fear is going to be there. I have to pack my own fears and move with them too, because otherwise they just want to stay where they were, feeling comfortable. And they do not remember that we felt very scared before we moved into this place that we now call home. So it's a matter of time. It's a matter of energy and devotion and attention so that the new space can eventually feel like home too. And I feel like change has been calling my door for a long time, and I have finally responded to that call. I'm like, I'm here for myself, and I am so grateful that you can be a part of this. Part of the things that I want to share in here are precisely this, like the parts of life that are very natural and human that we sometimes do not have any idea on how to navigate, or that we even sometimes try to quiet down. Just remember, every living thing aims toward evolution and growth. And you cannot grow in the place that you were born, because it will smother you. It will kill you. If you kept your baby clothes, you wouldn't fit in them. Like, they would either break your body or you would break the clothes. We need to outgrow things. It's our very natural thing to do. So don't feel guilty if you want more from life, if you want more from you, from your relationships, with work, with a partner, with your friends, with your family. If you want more, it's because your soul knows you deserve more. And maybe the place you're in right now is not giving you what your soul needs, what your soul knows it deserves. So take responsibility for yourself. Feel your emotions, but take the leap. Step by step. And once you take the leap, just remember, it will take some time to adjust. So take that time. Adjust, crawl a little bit, get to know the space, and then stand for yourself and get to grow that safety of standing and being able to see things more clearly. And once you have that vision, then walk towards the things that you are aiming. Walk towards your dreams or your projects or your visions, or however you want to call it. So yeah, fear will stop you. Fear it's so mischievous, like her language, it's like a tiny little manipulative girl who knows to get exactly what she wants. Like, that's the way I feel fear, or like the personification that I have come to know of fear. And don't let her keep you where you know you no longer want to be, where your soul feels very uncomfortable being in too. If your planter has broken already, that is so good. It is so good. It means you are made for more. That's why it broke. The things that leave your life, the things that break, are just a signal of the fact that new things are coming on the way. So don't be scared by the things that break. Be grateful for them. Things that break, things that die, things that end mean new beginnings. So let that relationship end. Let that friendship that's not giving you what you need end. Let that work that is draining you and keeping you insane and depressed end. Let things end, because that's the only way other things can begin. Okay? It's the process of life. Every living thing lives and dies and then lives again. If you have plants in your house, you know how some of them start losing their leaves and they die. Parts of them die, but they grow back again. And we humans are a part of this magnificent earth and this magnificent universe and cosmos in which things end and things start again. Things die and things are born again. So, yeah, don't be afraid of death, because it is honestly the best thing that can happen to you, because it will bring you closer to yourself. And there's nothing more beautiful than having a very close relationship with your space self, with yourself, with your soul, with your spirit, with your heart, with your body. May every single thing that's breaking and ending lately bring you closer to yourself and closer to the things that align with this new you. Okay, so take the leap, take your steps, drop the fear. I know you can do it, and you'll be surprised once you have done it. You will prove yourself so much, and it's just like, it's a feeling that nothing and nobody else can give you. Like, this resilience, this strength, this courage and bravery feels amazing, and everybody should be able to experience that. So yeah, I hope that everything you heard in here helps, and I would love it if it did, and if not, just take what you need. Okay, I love you, and I am very grateful that you're here. See you and hear you later in the podcast too. Bye.